us at Precision Defensive Solutions highly recommend to everyone who carries a firearm daily or has a firearm at home to protect themselves and their loved ones, get self-defense coverage in case the worst day of your life occurs. We trust our livelihoods to Firearms Legal Protection. They are now offering a discount and price lock through us for new members. There will be a link in the description to sign up or visit their website and use our code NCPDA. Thank you. God bless America.
Hi, this is Brandon with Precision Defensive Solutions, and I'm sitting here with Stephanie, and we are here with Mr. Terry Johnson. How you doing, Terry?
I'm wonderful. How are you guys holding up during this pandemic?
Oh, you know, it's kind of crazy, but we're staying busy, trying to.
Outstanding.
Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've asked Terry to kind of join us through Zoom, and as he's setting up in his home in Michigan, and we're sitting down here and trying to keep our social distancing and follow the rules here. We were talking.
We need to spread out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the husband and wife need to spread out, right? So we asked Terry if he'd come in and join us and talk about some legal issues that we know a little bit about, but we've referred to the experts. So let's talk a little bit about Castle Doctrine, Terry.
Sure.
So,
well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brandon. My apologies.
So my understanding of Castle Doctrine is that it's just a presumption of innocence for defending yourself in your home.
Or your car.
Yeah.
Well, correct. And, you know, if you look at most states, and in this case, Ohio, where you guys are located, it specifically spells out your home and your car. There are some northern states that don't specifically spell out a vehicle. But what the Castle Doctrine basically allows is it allows you to protect yourself in your home and vehicle, again, depending upon the state. But if I say home and vehicle apply it, because, again, I don't know who's watching where. So, but for the most part, the Castle Doctrine basically says it's up to the prosecutor to prove that what you did in your home is basically not, that you weren't using lethal force to defend yourself or to defend your home. And that's very interesting from the standpoint, Brandon and Stephanie, of a lot of people give that up by talking too soon. And let me tell you what I mean by that. So, for example, you know, if you think of, you know, someone who the police come in and they say, hey, what happened? And, you know, hey, this guy broke in my house and I gave him exactly what he had coming. You say something along those lines, you've now opened a door to the prosecutor rebutting the fact that you weren't in, you know, imminent fear. Because when you use the Castle Doctrine, there's a couple of things you got to keep in mind. The very first one is you have to be in imminent fear of death, you know, great bodily harm, or in some other states, different things as well. So first of all and foremost, you got to be in imminent fear. And the person, I'm going to specifically speak to Ohio here. If it's a trespasser coming into your home, the presumption is they're there to do something bad to you. You guys would agree with that, right?
Oh, without a doubt.
So, you know, they don't have a right to be there. You have a right to be there. It's imminent, which means something's happened right now. And in Ohio, the way the law is broken down, it's either they've already come in the house or they're attempting to come in the house. And that takes us back to a question you and I talked about a few weeks ago. What happens if somebody's in my front yard, right?
Yeah,
They have a big gun. Yeah, they've got a gun. They're coming to the door. Can I shoot them at that point? And if you read the Ohio law, it basically says they have to be in the process of coming in. So if they come up and they, you know, turn the doorknob, they kick the door or something like that, then I believe you're more so justified because, again, it goes back to that element of imminent. It must be imminent.
Right.
So if they're pounding on a window, that would also be imminent.
Well, again, are they knocking on the window trying to get your attention, or are they trying to break the window again, attempting to trespass and come inside.
Right, yeah, because, I mean, we, just as an example, we had a situation at home where we had the guy hitting the window so hard it was shaking the window. And it wasn't a case that he was just knocking on it. I mean, it sounded like he was trying to break it. We had
Yeah.
our eyes closed, so we couldn't, see exactly what he was doing, but just from the sound.
Well, and here's the thing, if you think about it, every situation's different. I mean, is the window in the back? Is it in the front? Do you see this person? What are they doing? If you hear a window break, let's say in your kitchen and you're in the living room, does that mean you can grab your gun and just start shooting through the window? Probably not. I mean, you don't know if it's a kid that potentially threw a baseball through the window. You have to exercise some caution before you use lethal force. And that's kind of what the Castle Doctrine does. It gives you the benefit of the doubt, but again, it doesn't take away the reasonableness that a prosecutor can come back and say, there's no way this person was in imminent fear of death or great bodily harm.
Right, and see, that's one of the things that we teach our students is that if they get to the point where they have to use a gun to protect themselves, we always say, make sure you identify your target and just absolutely identify your target.
Right. Absolutely.
So that clears up some things, and I think that will help a whole lot. So we really appreciate the time, and
well, let me add one more thing to that, if that's okay, Brandon.
sure, absolutely.
People always, they talk about, well, what about my detached garage? And again, I'm just going to kind of focus on Ohio more so than any other place, your home and your detached garage. You can use your Castle Doctrine there, but you have to be inside that particular place at the time. So, for example, if I have a detached garage and I hear some noise there, does that mean that I get the opportunity to go out and use lethal force there? Well, according to Ohio statute, the answer is no, because you're not in that part of the house, that part of the dwelling, whether it's permanent or temporary. So I just want to make sure I threw that out as well.
Yeah, absolutely, because that, in fact, I forgot about the garage.
So, well, we do have a detached garage. Ours is walled in, and we have a garage door opener. But it's a wall of garages. Well, I guess you could call it a wall of garages with everyone else.
Mhm.
So you're saying that Castle Doctrine could apply, like if I'm pulling our car into the garage and then someone comes in behind.
Correct. And see, that's, what people generally like to see is, hey, here's a stop sign, so I have to stop. I know no matter what goes on, I come to this corner, I have to stop. But when you use self-defense, there are so many different factors that come in, and Stephanie just said it exactly correct. If you pull in your garage and someone comes in your garage behind you, yes, under Ohio law, you're allowed to use lethal force to protect yourself.
Yeah,
However, if someone's in the garage, and you, at that point, you're in your home, do you get to go in at that point and just start shooting up? Probably not.
No, I could understand that.
Yeah, unless you don't see them.
Correct.
And then.
Yeah, if you'd walk in on somebody, that's a different story. But if you knew,
Yeah,
where it could be avoided, I could understand that. That not being used. So, again, thanks for the time, Terry. Great explanation on that. I think that will help a whole lot.
yes.
Thank you very much.